Michael's replacement if you needed to replace him?
Uh, I don't know. We talked about it. One of the guys that Tommy had mentioned was Patrick Ianni. I said he's got the shortest arms in the team, so he's not a good. It's not a good option. You know, it'd be like putting T-Rex in goal. And so we were looking at maybe Zach Scott, maybe Brad Evans. Immediately volunteered once he heard that discussion. So. You know, there were a few other guys we were thinking about. Rosales, but we felt he might have been a bit short. So.
What did you make of Hahnemann's ejection?
I mean, you know, it's not a good thing. You know, we all get frustrated sitting on the bench. We gotta sometimes hold our tongue, and you know, can't get to a point where we get ourselves ejected because it could have put ourselves in a very difficult situation if something had happened to Michael. So you know, we're not pleased with it. Marcus is a veteran guy. You know, he knows. You know, he's disappointed in himself in that. But it was, you know, it looked like a handball certainly for anybody that saw it.
So what is your number 2 situation for tomorrow?
We've called up Doug Herrick, so Herrick will be the goalkeeper on the bench tomorrow, lead goalkeeper.
Have you been in that situation before where you've had a player kicked off the bench?
I've had a administrator thrown out once, had a trainer thrown out once. Don't think I've ever had my reserve goalkeeper thrown out. Might have had a field player somewhere along the line thrown out, but never a reserve goalkeeper.
You just talk a little bit about tomorrow's match, just a little preview. You guys coming off a nice win and just trying to keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a difficult game. San Jose's a busy, active team. They came off a good win at home where they were down 1-0 and came back with 2 goals. You know, naturally for us, just like Kai Kamara was back for KC, now Lenhart and you know, Gordon have served their suspension, so they're back. So a couple of decisions there for Frank to make as to, you know, who he's going to come with up front. Jan's been playing well for them. You know, Wando is always an ever-present danger. So we have to be ready. We have to be on our toes, but we got to take the form and mainly the heart and the effort that we've shown in our road trip onto the field on Saturday.
The one time you guys beat them in the last year was that Open Cup game, pretty physical match. Do you guys actually look at that match as a potential like model for how you can beat them, or is that kind of you just throw it out because it was such a weird lineup?
No, just the game ends up being that way a little bit, you know, when you play them. I mean, you know, they're a team that can knock it around in midfield, and they have some guys who are very good passers. You know, they've added Walter Martinez, and they got Baca and Cronin and Betature, and these guys can knock it around. But when you look at their games, you know, a game always evolves. Eventually, something hit long, you know, for Jan or Lenhart or Gordon to try and get on the end of, or balls played over the top, and for people to try and run onto. So the game always ends up being a little stretched. There's always a lot of duels, a lot of aerial duels in the game, and that's just the way the game is. So you got to be prepared for that. Kansas City is a little bit the same way. So I think we got a little bit of preparation there.
And yet, y'all have really had Kansas City's number and San Jose kind of y'all's.
Yeah, you know, that's hard to say sometimes. You know, sometimes you become a boogie team for somebody, and you can't really say why. You know, maybe it's something that sticks in the back of your mind a little bit, or whatever the case may be. But we felt confident in Kansas City. It's a place where we've gotten good results, and you know, now it's about going you know, and turning things around with the Quakes, because we haven't had as good of results with them recently, especially in league. And you know, one of the things we always talk about is winning the season series with teams, and so we're down to them right now. So this is the game where we can even up the season series and put ourselves in a position to win it.
Do you expect to have some guys available this tomorrow who were not in Kansas City?
Yeah, everybody wants to play now. We've won, you know, we haven't lost, so everybody's feeling a lot healthier as a result. So, you know, there'll be some tough decisions we have to make, you know, because there's some guys who've played well who don't necessarily deserve to lose their spot on the field. And there's also some guys who, you know, it's going to be the 3rd game in 8 days, so maybe fatigue will lead to some changes as well. And there's also some guys who are coming off of injuries that are able to go, but are they truly able to go 90 minutes, or are they 50, 60-minute guys? And so as a coach, you have to balance that then and say, you know, I can't have too many guys on the field who I don't think can get through 90 minutes, so I got to make those decisions as well.
Sometimes on road trips you're away from a lot of things, and it brings teams closer together. Did you see this road trip bring this team closer together?
Well, it helps, you know. I mean, I think it helps because you get away from the distractions and maybe a little bit from the pressures and seeing your friends. Hey, you guys going to turn this around? What's happening? And so it gets you away that way. And I think when we got to Kansas City, on the Sunday, the guys were able to go out to eat, together, and not be in the hotel. And we sort of split up the week a little bit like that. Monday as well, they went out to dinner on their own and so forth. Tuesday they had lunch on their own, together. So, groups got together, they explored the city a little bit, and I think that was good just to get their minds off things and get focused on what we needed to do.
Among the, say, Martins, Joseph, and Zakawani, are any of those absolutely available if you want them?
I think they're all to greater and lesser extents available. But it's that's something we're going to talk about now. We're going to make some decisions. We wanted to see how practice was today, and then we'll make some decisions.
Does preparation change at all when you face a team a second time around, like this week with San Jose?
Not unless they've had a lot of change in personnel. I mean, or we felt that we prepared inappropriately tactically the first time around or something, but we felt pretty good about our tactics in San Jose. I don't think it was a game where they, ran roughshod over us, and so we just have to be prepared, to do the good things that we did down there and eliminate the bad things.
4-game unbeaten streak for you guys. Do you feel the momentum starting to shift in your favor, especially with that goal that Jimmy had?
Well, it was certainly a nice one to win late. It was nice to get a smidgen of luck going our way, especially with the handball in the first half when it didn't go our way. And so it was nice to have a turn. You always gain a little bit of confidence when you win games. It's been a while now since we've lost a game, so that's a good thing for us as well. We know we can compete. We came back in Philly after being down 2-1 and equalized that game and then held on. So we just got to continue to play with the same spirit and determination.
Jimmy Traore scored a couple goals for you. I think he scored 2 goals during his entire European career. Is that kind of a nice surprise to be getting goals out of him?
Yeah, he says, being in the U.S. has really brought out his goal-scoring instincts, to a whole new level. And, he's actually now starting to say if we're short-handed up front, he could probably go up front for us on the pinch. Obviously the goal he scored in Champions League was fantastic. And, this was a very, very important goal. As long as he keeps scoring important goals for us like that, I'll be happy to see him score a lot more. And hopefully he has that late blossom of goal scoring.
Your friend Alan Hinton obviously credits the coaching and the players for the 4-match unbeaten streak, but he's also been wearing the same pair of green socks for all 4 matches. Were you fine with it?
It's sort of like always like that, it's like when you're losing, and everybody's going, why do we wear the white hats today? We should have worn the blue ones. That's the reason we lost, and then when you're winning, it's like nothing seems to be wrong. So, yeah, we all have little quirks, superstitions. You've heard me say this before. I don't refer to them as superstitions. They're consistent preparation, and so preparing consistently for the game when you're going well is an important thing to do.
Were you prepared for the possibility of Eddie Johnson being suspended for Wednesday's game, and what did you kind of make of that situation?
We were ready for it, and we asked the league to give us a determination early because we were on the road, so we could bring somebody in, and then obviously, I don't know the inner workings of the disciplinary committee, but they came to the decision they came to.
With how this team has played up against San Jose in league play, do you approach San Jose any differently for this match?
No, not really. Obviously they got a couple of guys who are coming back into the team who are going to be very motivated, in Lenhart and Alan Gordon. And the way they play is pretty similar. I mean, no matter who they put out there, whether it's Walter Martinez or Baca in midfield, they're a team that likes to play the ball quickly through midfield, but also likes to get it over and likes to win a lot of second balls. And we just have to be quick and alert to get onto second balls.
Me preguntaron si podría hacer un anuncio y pensé que era porque yo juego para los Seattle Sounders. No puedo porque mi inglés no es muy bueno. That's true. Entonces me dijeron que el anuncio era de padres, niños y familias. Eso es muy importante para mí y le dije que yo hago lo que puedo hacer. No importa cuál idioma tú hablas, hay un idioma universal que nuestros niños comprenden y necesitan. Y es el amor y el cariño de los padres. Be a good parent and stay involved in your child's life.